Greetings to you viewers from across the globe. You're welcome to the show Viewpoint, where we discover perspectives and embrace dialogue. I'm your host, Odiawa AI for Veegil Media. You'll do well to follow us across various social media platforms and subscribe to this YouTube channel, Veegil Media. And also don't forget to download the Veegil app on the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store. Moving on, we will be talking about a roadmap for the APC in the Edo 2024 off-cycle elections, which is fast approaching. Candidates are declaring their intentions from various senatorial districts, Edo North, Edo South, and Edo Central, with their intents on how to take over from incumbent Governor Godwin Obaseki. Before we will commence concerning the roadmap for the APC against the off-cycle elections in 2024, we'll briefly go into headlines making the rounds on the political space. Now, to start with, first of all, we will be going over with Akeredolu, who has commenced his medical leave today. Now, trying to transmit power to his deputy, which has been actually long overdue. Now, report has it that the Edo State Governor, Rotimi Akeredolu, has commenced his medical leave on Wednesday, which is actually today as we speak, as a follow-up to his medical treatment. Now, this is according to his spokesman, Richard Olatunde. Now, in a statement on Tuesday as of yesterday, Olatunde said during Akeredolu's absence, the deputy governor will assume the responsibilities of the governor as acting or in acting capacity. I beg your pardon. Now, Akeredolu, a senior advocate of Nigeria and former president of the NBA, the Nigerian Bar Association, won his re-election as the state's governor in October 2020 and was sworn in for a second term in office in February 2021. But in any case, the governor's second term since January 2023 has not been a smooth sail, as he has encountered all sorts of turbulence in his administration, as he had to be flown abroad for treatment over medical conditions in June. Now, the 67-year-old politician returned to Nigeria in September after months overseas, but stayed in Ibadan, your state's capital. Now, at least constitutional sanity, I'll put it that way, is gradually being restored in the state. Still on the Edo State crisis, Akeredolu's incapacity to sign the letter of transfer is enough for his removal. Now, this is according to civil rights activist Omoyele Sowore. Now, Omoyele Sowore said the lack of the capacity of the state's governor, Rotimi, to sign a transfer of power letter to his deputy is enough reason for his removal from office. Now, the activists actually also faulted President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's directive that the ailing state governor should have transferred power to his deputy via a letter with his e-signature. Wasn't quite sounding right, because it was earlier reported that President Tinubu had earlier directed Akeredolu to transfer power to his deputy, Ayedatiwa. Sowore described the handover directive as illegal and unacceptable, adding that for Akeredolu to be so incapacitated that he couldn't sign a simple letter was enough reason to be removed from office. Now, away from the Edo State crisis, nobody's candidate, says Ighodalo, former chairman of Nigerian Breweries PLC. Asue Ighodalo has said that he is the best man to succeed Governor Godwin Obaseki, having worked in the background for several years. Now, in a statement on Monday, Ighodalo said that he had worked with Oshiomhole when he was governor of the state, and he is also doing the same for Obaseki. Now, while describing himself as a bona fide Edo citizen from Edo Central, Ighodalo stated that he is nobody's candidate but one who is ready to bring his experience of serving as chairman of various companies to bear when he gets to the nod, or gets the nod from the next election from the electorate to govern the state. Now, he is also the chairman of the Alagodaro Summit. Now, he was offering himself for service because of his desire to make Edo State strong, not just strong, but strong economically, noting that several parts of the economy can be used to provide for the people and take care of them, or convey them out or take them out of poverty, admitting that it was a tough decision for him to leave the private sector for politics. He said he was prepared for the rigorous job, which demands integrity. Now, he's not the first person to actually leave the private sector to actually declare his ambition. The current governor also left the private sector to also take part in politics. Now, underscoring that he would build on the success of past governments in the states while ensuring that other policies would be fine-tuned to meet current needs of the state. Now, moving on to other matters, Kaduna State's bombing. Now, it involves Obi now, who is former presidential candidate of the Labour Party. He actually went to visit those affected by the Kaduna airstrike, now demanding that there should be a probe. Now, against the backdrop of the recent accidental military airstrike at Tundumbiri village in the Igabi local government area of Kaduna State, the 2023 presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, has called on the federal government to provide adequate funding for the military and other security agencies in order to enhance their operations. Now, Obi made this call when he visited the victims at the Barudiko Teaching Hospital in the state capital on Tuesday as of yesterday, lamenting that the country has so far recorded 16 accidental military bombings that's claimed over 500 lives, with nothing being done by the federal government to avert reoccurrence of such tragedies. Now, it's our hope that those people or victims or casualties of the bombing will recover as soon as possible. The former Anambra State governor, however, underscored the need for the government to support the military to ensure that incidents like accidental bombings do not happen again. Obi went on to note that adequate funding for the military is key in tackling the contemporary and emerging security difficulties or challenges confronting the nation, supporting the calls for investigations of the military airstrike, just as he advocated the setting up of a foundation to cater for the victims of the Tundumbiri drone attacks, particularly those that have been orphaned by the incident. Moving on to other headlines making the rounds, we will be moving over to the Garden City, Rivers State. It's no news that the current crisis rocking Rivers State, particularly in the House of Assembly, whereby you have two factions in the House of Assembly. Now, the Rivers State House of Assembly complex is currently undergoing demolition as we speak. The heat appears to still be on in the Garden City because Rivers State government, of course, witnessing all sorts of crises, particularly in the Moscow Road of Port Harcourt City local government area. The reconstruction, of course, after the demolition, which actually commenced about 7:30 a.m. today on Wednesday. The processing was reported to be ongoing, though, as early as 5 a.m. on Wednesday, which is today actually, like I would say, bulldozers, excavators, and other heavy-duty machines were brought to the assembly complex. The reasons may not be far from the recent crisis that is rocking the Rivers State House of Assembly, whereby you have PDP members decamping to the APC and also two factions of the House of Assembly in Rivers State. Join me in the next phase of the show. You're welcome back to the show. The show is Viewpoint, where we discover perspectives and embrace dialogue. I'm your host, Odiawa AI for Veegil Media. On the show today, we'll be talking about a roadmap for APC. Earlier in the first phase of the show, we're talking about headlines making the rounds on the political scene. Now, on the roadmap for the APC in the off-cycle elections coming up in 2024 in the heartbeat of Nigeria, Edo State, zoning or rotation of political offices, especially the position of the president or governor, has actually shaped the fortunes for good or ill of political parties in Nigeria since the return of democracy in the nation in 1999. Now, this has accentuated the ethnic, tribal, and religious fault lines, even in seemingly homogeneous states within the heterogeneous and unwieldy Federation of Nigeria. Now, like never before since the advent of the Fourth Republic, the hydra-headed monster of zoning is shaping the color, content, and tenor of the 2024 gubernatorial elections in Edo State. Now, not only Edo State, we saw that recently in the off-cycle elections in November, just last month, in Imo, Bayelsa, and Kogi. Now, as the Independent Electoral Commission, INEC, who actually happens to be the electoral umpire, has rolled out a timetable for the election that will hold September 21, 2024. Now, on paper, Edo State is homogeneous in language, culture, and tradition. In any case, the constitutional division of the state is divided into 3 senatorial districts, majorly along geographic and tribal affinity, which has thrown a wrench in the oneness of the people who see themselves as distinct entities, willing to do anything to protect their political rights within the system. Now, in Edo State, the APC, the All Progressives Congress, which was in power between 2008 and 2016, handed over power to the PDP, the People's Democratic Party, literally on a platter of gold in 2020 through an in-house fighting. Now, though the auguries for a return to power in 2024 may look bleak if the APC gambles with the zoning of the governorship seats based on mundane reasons that will not actually convey or deliver for the party the required number of votes to reoccupy the Dennis Osadebe Avenue Government House in Benin City, Edo State, which is actually the capital city. Now, evaluating the previous administration of the highest political office within the state among the 3 senatorial districts, the Benin-speaking people of Edo South would have occupied the governorship for 16 years from 1999 to November 2024, while the Afemai-speaking people of Edo North have enjoyed the privilege for 8 years from 2008 to 2016, and the Esan people of Edo Central for 1 year and 7 months from 2007 to 2008. Now, these figures tend to give the impression that Edo Central has been seriously marginalized in the political equation, but this is not true. If we go further back in history, we will recall or discover that the Edo South people, despite their huge population, appear to have consciously or unconsciously conceded political leadership to the other senatorial districts, which are smaller than them in population and voting strength. Edo State was previously part of the old Midwestern region and Bendel State. Now, remarkably, despite its relatively small number rather, the Eson people of Edo Central have played leading roles in the political scene within the state. For instance, Chief Anthony Enahoro, for example, played a very prominent role in the Midwest and national politics and was reputed to have moved the first motion for Nigeria's independence in 1953. Chief Anthony Aneni, until his demise recently, was an enigma with a de facto political leader in the states and at the national level who ensured that most of the federal ministries came from Edo Central. Professor Ambrose Folorunsho Ali was elected as the first civilian executive governor of Bendel State in 1979, and he ruled until 1983. He got substantial votes from the people of Edo South and Edo North. Now, ironically, even in Edo Central, where the Enson people hold sway, the people of the defunct Agbazilo of Eson Northeast and Eson Southeast are complaining of marginalization in the senatorial district. Now, this is evident. Why? Because they allege that the 2 governors produced from Edo Central, who happen to be Professor Ambrose Ali and Professor Osumbo, 2007 to 2008, that was when Osumbo was in power, when he was actually ousted out from office because of a rerun, which actually brought in Oshiomhole into office. Now, they both came, Osumbo and Ali, came from the same town of Ekpoma in the old Okpebolo axis, comprising Eson West and Eson Central. Now, any future governor should come from these axes also. Therefore, the Eson people cannot, in all fairness, talk about marginalization. Now, Edo South is not excluded in these lamentations, as the people have complained that with over 50% of the landmass and population of Edo State, allocating only 7 of the 18 local government areas to the south is the highest or height of marginalization. Now, for instance, a particular local government, Oshiomhole area, in Edo South has the largest landmass in the state. It is a major oil-producing region and also has the largest gas reserves in the nation. But the area has never produced a governor, a senator, talk less more, a commissioner or minister. Now, for the people of Owa, East and West, Akoko Edo from the Edo North region of the state, who can rightly claim to be politically marginalized, as they have never produced a governor, a minister, or had a leader in the state at any level at any point in time. They actually have the right to claim that they have actually been marginalized. Now, these complaints, as pretty as they might sound, are genuine and born out of a glaring neglect for some areas in the scheme of things in Edo State. While the complaints cannot be ignored, deliberate and concrete efforts should actually be made by the political class to address these issues while capitalizing on them. Now, as well as the hustle for who gets the gubernatorial ticket in Edo State in 2024 intensifies, the APC, which has been in the opposition since 2020 in the preferably, may passionately or dispassionately consider some of the outlined options and choose a strategy that will actually give it a victory. Now, zoning the governorship to a particular senatorial district will definitely not work. It has not been done before, and there is no basis to do it now, particularly when the party is in its opposition. Now, again, the agitation for zoning is founded on misleading and distorted information that will actually boomerang and cause some kind of disaffection. A winning strategy should actually, will be to boldly declare the contest open and encourage people with appeal, competence, and character to contest. Might I suggest in one word, technocrats should actually be on board. The APC should not underestimate the strength of the other parties, which is actually the PDP and the LP, the Labour Party, in the forthcoming elections. Although the PDP is enmeshed in internal conflict, its control of the state's government and resources gives it obvious advantages that cannot be overlooked. If the party is able to resolve its internal crises or issues, it will be a formidable platform to contend with. The Labour Party on its own part has proved itself in the presidential elections and won Edo State in some particular key positions also, be it at the State House of Assembly or the National Assembly as we speak. It has a senator from Edo South and two House of Reps members from the most populous constituencies of Oredo, Ego, and Okah. If the party nominates a candidate from Edo South for the governorship polls, as is being speculated, it might pull an upset or repeat what it did in the presidential elections of February 25. The APC should nominate a candidate with a name, recognition, and should I say street credibility or street appeal, who will be able to win or divide the Edo South votes. In the event the Labour Party fields definitely any other man from any other axis. Now, with expected massive votes from Edo North, a stronghold of the APC leader, Senator Adams Oshiomhole, such a candidate of the APC will triumph, definitely. Now, Edo South remains the best choice for a winning strategy for a winning candidate, as attested to by a cursory look at those who have presented themselves as worthy for becoming chief executives of the states. Now, an in-depth analysis briefly of the aspirants will actually reveal that they are indeed sellable ones who can win the elections if fully backed and supported by the APC. First off, we will start with General Charles Ahabe, who is actually retired. Now, he has previously contested for the governorship seats under the PDP and has a deep pocket, but lacks street political followership strong political followership to actually swing votes in his favor. Secondly, we have Chief Lucky Maswe. Now, Chief Lucky Maswe is a former deputy governor of Edo State and is well respected, but he is demystified was demystified when he lost his bid to the Edo South senatorial candidate in the 2023 general elections. Next up, we have Honorable Agbanu Yima, a former member of the House of Representatives, is a flamboyant politician, but relatively unknown politically in Edo Central and Edo North. Next up, we have Honorable Sunday Ulekwa, a former member of the Niger Delta Development Commission, the NDDC. Now, he is well known in his local government area, but not actually regarded as a serious contender for the 2024 gubernatorial elections. Next up, we have Senator Matthew Urogide, immediate past senator from Edo South, He actually faces headwinds as he returned to the APC after losing the PDP Edo South senatorial ticket for a third term in the National Assembly. Next up will be Honorable Dennis Idahosa, who is actually a current member of the House of Representatives, serving his second term in the House of Representatives. We also have Dr. Washington Osifo, a former commissioner in the state who recently lost in his bid to go to the House of Representatives. His appearance at the screening for the Edo Central aspirant is regarded as abnormal, as he is not from the Senatorial District, though making his bid for the governorship a mystery to everyone. Last on the list, we have Pastor Sage Ize-Iyamu, the governorship candidate of the APC. Now, Pastor Sage Ize-Iyamu of the APC in the 2020 September elections is till today unarguably the most popular, well, in my own view, my own opinion, certified and verified candidate for the Edo State elections under the flagship of the APC after Comrade Adams Oshiomhole. He has political followers that cuts across the 3 senatorial districts of the state, but he has been unlucky twice at the governorship elections. Let's be hopeful that he is lucky enough to grab the flag of these elections in 2024. Now, with the analyzing of all these candidates, the APC has not released the guidelines for the governorship contest yet. So it might be premature to know which aspirant will be best to actually fly its flag. On a final note, the party, the APC, should, in any case, eschew sentiments and choose the aspirant that has the best chance of winning in 2024. The Edo people want somebody who is actually a nickname, like they will always say, a homeboy, as they address someone who is actually qualified enough, who is well known to them and can be trusted with governance. I'm Odiawa AI for Veegil Media, and the show has been Viewpoint, where we discover perspectives and embrace dialogue. You do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us across various social media platforms. Don't forget to download the Veegil app on the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store. Thanks for watching.